had a very productive meeting last weekend. Got big plans. You'll be seeing a survey shortly, and you'll be able to be involved in the big plans. We're talking about doing some road trips and workshops and hands-on stuff. Should be cool. Also looking to do a hands-on workshop with ACLC, which is the Lancaster, Pennsylvania Club, at their location in the fish place up in Lancaster, which will be really cool. So that's probably going to be later on this fall, like October. And we'll work out transportation so we can carpool and people don't have to drive on their own to get up there. And then we'll all go shopping afterwards. Should be exciting now. That's right, start saving now. Whoever has a big vehicle. It's an outlet fish store, basically.
The warehouse is huge.
It's huge. So that'll be really cool. We're hoping. And if anybody ever has any ideas, please, let one of us know. We'd love to do new things. What else? We're going to have a different take on the aquascaping competition this year. We're going to do a theme instead of doing classes. So we would like to put up to everybody to choose the theme. And we're going to do, guys, so far, what did we decide to do? 3 choices, right?
Yeah, we're basically going to try and focus on a single style.
Right.
So, everyone does Iwagumi, or everyone does Dutch, or everyone does Nature Aquarium, or something like that.
That would be fun.
Size doesn't matter. It's more about the style and see how you can adhere to a certain style to pull that off. So
we figured this way it will be easier to judge between the different entries, and everybody will, be focused on learning one way, and then next year we can do something different, and we'll get maybe a better understanding of the different styles.
And if you don't know what any of those styles are,
tune in next
month. We'll be specifically on what those styles are, and then we'll have a vote afterwards.
on which style for this.
And you guys can decide.
The workshops are going to be geared towards that too.
Right, so if you guys happen to choose to do an Iwagumi, then we'll do a workshop that's somewhere near a rock store. Is that what we call it?
Rock yard.
Rock yard. Stone yard. So we can all go and pick stone.
The winner will be rock star.
Oh yes, and we're moving the deadline date for that to December. And then we'll announce the results at the holiday party. Correct? Correct. So that'll give us some more time since we're starting a little bit later. We are also planning on doing monthly group buys. And Arlene is actually going to be in charge of that. So unfortunately she's not here. But we'll do based on interest. So if there's anything in particular that anybody wants to order, speak up and let us know and we'll plan it accordingly. The first one's going to be through Rachel at Ms. Jinxed. So she's already done an order of something along the lines of 1,000 Amanos, 500 Ottos, and a whole bunch of Nereids and other snails. So she will be stocked for all of our algae gleaning needs. So she'll be ready for that, and she always has small fish and other types of things too. So that'll be good. And that will be for next month, and I'm not sure what the deadline is going to be, so watch the forum and get it on board. Other than that, do we have anything else that we talked about?
The holiday party date?
Oh yeah, that we're going to be voting on, right? Because there's a conflict of the holiday party every year now with PVAS moving theirs to our Saturday, instead of making people choose between the 2 clubs, we would like to move the date. We're not sure when. We have 2 options. We can either go later into December or earlier in November. So we're going to post a poll about that. So be thinking about when you would rather do it. Just because we don't want conflict. We want everybody to be able to enjoy all of the clubs and all of the holiday parties. So
it might be flex instead of what we've always done, December the 5th or whatever that, first weekend was. It might be based on when Thanksgiving is, when Christmas is, and based on that, say whether it's going to be late November or middle of December.
So from year to year it might change.
Year to year might change. But since we only do one for November and December, we want to kind of keep it within those 2 weeks window, so that there's not too much of a gap between either the October and January meetings. But I think being flex is probably going to be the best option. So on a given year, we'll probably pick a date. So well ahead of time, obviously.
Any thoughts on that? No. Nobody. Okay, great.
And we could even do it on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. We'll put it together.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lunch something, so hopefully if anyone needs to go to church in the mornings, they can deal with that.
Somebody's possibility that opens up more possible dates.
Right, exactly. There's also been a lot of talk about collecting trips, which we're trying to do. What we're thinking about doing is in the summertime when it's tough to get people to coordinate and come to meetings, set up the collecting trips and field trips on those dates. So it's a little bit easier for people, instead of trying to get a host to host a meeting for 10 people, have 10 people go on a collecting trip. So we're trying to do that. We'll have different locations and maybe do like a northern one for the Maryland people and a southern one for the Virginia people, and be able to get everybody in there. Also talking about doing a home, like a tank tour, where we go around in different areas and you get to visit people's tanks that couldn't otherwise host a meeting, which would be fun. Do it just by area, so just drive around maybe 4 or 5 houses in this area or up in Columbia area or wherever else. Anything else?
I want to get a quick treasury report.
Yes. Chris, did you have anything to add?
Just the ADA order that we had went really well. We had, I think, a pallet of 1,000 pounds of ADA product come. Shipped to my work, and Matt worked out really well at getting it into our cars and back to the house. So most of you were very good about picking it up. A lot of the smaller orders just said I'd bring to the meeting. So I have all of your stuff. It's in my car. The benefit for everyone else is that the Senskis, they sent boxes, a couple of boxes of these ADA catalog books. So there's the 2009 one, the 2010. I don't know if they shipped enough for everyone to take one of each. Folks who were in the order got one of each because they were requested. But you might want to look. The neat thing about these books is, sure, it is a catalog, so you can see all of their products and stuff. But the really neat thing is, particularly in the newer one, they actually go through a lot of different styles. There's some great inspiration. And some of the tanks they'll take from start to finish. So particularly when you're thinking of the aquascaping contest coming up, to see, okay, you start with hardscape, you plant it, and then after a certain amount of time it grows in. Some of the translations are not wonderful, but they really go through some of these where it's a lot of different steps, and they're going each step of the way, different styles, as well as wabi kusas, if any of you are interested in those. It's basically like an immersed type aquarium. So it's definitely worth checking out. Just feel free to grab them while you're up here. They'll be here the whole meeting, and whatever you don't have, I'll take back for future meetings or numbers. But I guess the only other thing is I've entered everything into the auction software. If you did bring plants for auction and haven't signed up on our notebook, please do so sooner than later so we can get it in and start the auction after it goes enforcement.
And if you're new and want to renew your membership, or start a membership, or renew your membership, talk to Gaspar.
Yep.
You can do that today, or you can do it online through PayPal.
Yeah, you can do it online through PayPal, or if you've got cash, you can do it today.